So it seems that the Pacers nailed the Malcolm Brogdon move. He's averaging basically 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. He's been really efficient, even with his threes not really going in. He's hurt right now. He's got some day-to-day thing with his back, so hopefully he'll be fine there. But this really is a hell of a thing for Indiana, because they did give him a pretty payday, and I think there were some skeptics of the move. Not like super skeptics, because, the cap's still going up, and we all knew Brogdon was good. But, I mean, he wasn't exactly cheap for them. He's getting paid about $20 million a season. So you would hope that he would do a little more than just be like a super efficient 13, 14 points a game guy, and he has definitely been that so far. I mean, he's going off the dribble, he's creating his own offense, he's beating guys off the bounce, he's playing in the pick and roll, especially with Sabonis, who's been really good for Indiana as well. And Brogdon's kind of been the leader of their offense without Oladipo out there. I mean, Sabonis and TJ and Jeremy Lamb have definitely helped, but if Brogdon wasn't here, this team would probably not be very good right now. I mean, they're 17th in offensive rating according to Basketball Reference. And should we really be that surprised by Brogdon's improvement here? I mean, his numbers went up every season for the Bucks, and every year he would just do a little more off the dribble, right? Whereas like his first year and his first couple years really, his assist numbers would be there, but it's like he would come across as more of an off-ball guy, kind of float around the offense, but when they needed him to do a little bit more off the dribble, he could do it. Now, even then, occasionally I think he was a little frustrating because he would hold on to the ball too long. But, again, I don't really think we should be shocked here. And it also may be fair to say the Bucks could have chosen the wrong guy, because they essentially chose Bledsoe over Brogdon. I mean, they saw the free agency coming up, and they were like, we got to keep one of these guys, and they went with Bledsoe. Brogdon has been better than Bledsoe up to this point. And of course, there's Bledsoe's playoff performances, but back to Indiana, I mean, Brogdon's playmaking has been kind of amazing. I mean, he's got 8 assists and only like 3 turnovers a game, which for a dude who is not Chris Paul, that's pretty wild. I mean, if you want to do the advanced stuff, 41% assist percentage, 15% turnover percentage. That's pretty wild if you ask me. And so now I think what you really look at is, at least what I think about, is once Oladipo comes back. Of course, for when that actually is, don't really know. I know he had a G League stint, and we also don't know when Oladipo is really going to be Oladipo again. And I said this at some point in the offseason, I will say it again. It has effectively been 2 years since Oladipo was really, really good for these guys. So I hope he's still that player, but a small part of me fears that guy is never really coming back. Quad injuries are really weird and stuff, but we don't know. I mean, we assume bare minimum he's going to be like a high teens, low 20s type of dude once he's really ready to go, and that may be by the time the postseason starts, and that could be a hell of a 1-2 combo. 2 guards who can play on the ball, off the ball. They both can beat guys off the bounce, play in transition. Both of them are good defensively. Oladipo on his best day being one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Brogdon, not on that level, but pretty good. And you need firepower in the playoffs, no doubt. I mean, Giannis is so good that it takes about 2 guys to match his production unless you've got Kawhi, pretty much. In the case of Kemba and Hayward and whoever else in the Celtics could go off in a playoff series, Siakam's been playing nuts. Embiid can still be great even if the Sixers' offense is weird as hell. So just having multiple dudes who can just make tough shots. I mean, we're going to have to see with Brogdon, like once, not even just the playoffs roll around, but if he can just hold this up all season. But if he can just be this like 19, 20-point dude and then Oladipo can be close to what he was, then that's definitely going to give Indiana a shot in any playoff series. Now, their record overall is not amazing. They've had injuries. Besides Oladipo, Miles Turner's been out. Brogdon has missed a couple games. They've been relying on a bunch of dudes off the bench, would be the best way to put it, I guess. Between Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday, Doug McDermott, Jakar Sampson, TJ McConnell, TJ Leaf. So, they'll hopefully, once they get healthy, they could figure that out a little bit. I mean, Jeremy Lamb hasn't played that much, and I do think they were hoping for a bit from him. So yeah, if I could talk about Sabonis a little bit more. This is the thing. This is the case for Sabonis over Turner, because we all know how that conversation goes. We've been talking about it for the last 2 years. You can make all the cases in the world for Turner, his defense, and the stuff that he does that doesn't show up in the box score and stuff. Well, Sabonis is averaging 19 and 14 with 4 assists, and the Pacers are still 6th in defense. So if that's going to be the reality, where Sabonis is this box score god, and defensively Indiana is still really good with him, then he just might be the better choice over Miles Turner, if you are not going to be able to make that pairing work. Now, of course, you give it time, and I don't want to go into it too much because I've made videos on this. But as of right now, I think Sabonis is definitely in the lead on that one. I think Turner was better last season. But this year, granted, Miles has been hurt, but that happens sometimes. Dudes get hurt, other guy shows up, and then suddenly it's like, oh, wait a minute, we got some decisions to make. So, Indiana will do whatever they do with those two eventually. Now, if you wanted to be cynical, you could say that the Pacers haven't really beaten anybody, because their wins have been against the Nets, the Cavs, the Bulls, the Wiz, the Pistons again, the Magic, Thunder, and Nets. And they got destroyed by the Bucks. But I don't know. I mean, gut feeling is I think the Pacers are solid. I predicted them to make the 7th seed, so I wasn't super high on a lot of their offseason stuff. So they're kind of in line where I thought they were going to be. They're currently 6th in the conference, but I definitely didn't see Brogdon happening like this. So while maybe their seeding is not far away from where I thought they'd be, I could picture them being a little more frightening in the playoffs, or by game 40 or something. I don't know. It's very early to start being well, let's see what happens when the postseason comes around. So they're solid. Brogdon's been really good, and if Oladipo can come back and be Oladipo, that could be quite a pairing. And that's it.